Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 4th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. Here's the state of California. You can see this potent frontal system moving through the Pacific Northwest. This is going to bring weather to California in kind of an indirect way over the next couple of days as we kick some offshore winds behind this. It's also going to clip some northern portions today with some precipitation. It's not much though. And we're going to take a look at the extended forecast because there is hope in the extended, and so stick with me towards the end of the video for that information. Taking a look at the moderate risk of sneaker waves up and down the coastline, valid from this morning to tonight. And watch out here, beachgoers can be swept into the ocean. It happens every single year here across the coast, the west coast of North America, and it's tough to rescue people when they do get swept out. You know, there's big logs out in the waves and whatnot. So really keep an eye on your children and your pets, you know, and just watch out for that big wave activity here. You guys know the drill. Don't turn your back on the ocean. Red flag warning Tuesday through Thursday morning. And this is going to be critical fire conditions, low relative humidities, offshore winds, and this rapid fire spread could occur with this. This goes all the way on in through 5 p.m. on Saturday. So heads up for that. And National Weather Service Los Angeles is all over it as well. Some strong gusts across the mountain areas. And they're going to pick up again as we go through the midweek period. So I'll show you the weather model map here on that in a moment. But you guys know the drill could cause some damage out there. And of course, rapid fire spread. So let's back this up. We're looking at the state of California right there. You can see me circling it here. And this is about 2,500 feet off the surface. But this does show kind of the trajectory of the winds and the offshore component ongoing as we speak this morning. You see the northeast flow there across Southern California coming through the gaps in the terrain. Northerly flow across the desert, and you can see a bit of a northeast component across the Sierra Nevada as well. So if I put that into motion, we do relax things a little bit here as we go through tonight, but still getting these northerly winds down the Sacramento Valley as we go through Tuesday morning. Then you'll see the winds redevelop northeasterly here across the Bay Area as we go into late Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Look at this very early Wednesday morning. The Santa Ana start blowing again across Southern California. Look at these strong northeast winds across some of the desert areas and out across the Bay Area also. And then we scroll all the way on in through to Wednesday afternoon when this model run ends. But you can clearly see the offshore component. And of course, low relative humidities are going to be accompanying that and the fire threat. Now, why is that occurring? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at things. This is last night's European model run. Here we are right now. And this is why we do have some offshore component. We have higher pressure over the interior. And of course, that drives the winds out in the offshore direction. And if we put that into motion, the pressure gradient relaxes a bit as we go through tonight, but you'll see the next high pressure come across Oregon here and set up over Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and that's going to be driving our offshore wind event here as we go through the day Wednesday as well. So we got a couple rounds of this coming up, this is going to be the weather maker here for the next few days, but we do have some hope in the extended forecast. I want to remind you that here, but before I show you some of the relative humidity maps, we're going to scroll through this as we go through the day today. Not bad relative humidity speaking as we go through the day today, but as we get towards tomorrow, look at this. Much of the state is below normal relative humidities. And then watch what happens as we scroll on in towards Wednesday morning. You can kind of see this start to bring out over the ocean. Look at that drier air caught up in the Santa Ana winds as the entire state will have low relative humidities and some fire danger as we go through the day Wednesday. Now, daily 2-meter max temperatures, not too bad out there. It's pretty comfortable this time of year, generally speaking. And you can see this is no exception. You know, some nice temperatures are to be had. This is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And with things drier than normal, you get that evaporative cooling, and they'll actually feel a bit chillier than what the temperatures are showing here. So even the desert areas becoming very comfortable here as we go through the fall months, and we scroll all the way out towards Thursday there. Now, let's take a look at the extended forecast, because this is the system moving to the Pacific Northwest, and in the wake of that, we're going to get some high pressure building. That's what's going to be driving our offshore winds as we go through the midweek period coming up, as this upper level low sets up over some of the southwest there. And then we bring another system here as we go through this upcoming weekend. We'll watch that one closely here. And I'm going to show you another map here in a moment on the extended forecast. But look at this trough setting up as we go through the extended as well. So you can see we do have the potential for some systems coming through in the extended forecast. You look far enough out and you can always find something fun off into fantasy land. That would be an interesting system there as well. This is looking out towards mid-month. You take that with a grain of salt. Purely a fantasy forecast, just dreaming at this point. But taking a look at what that would mean in precipitation. So here we go through the day today. You can see just skirting some of the northern areas, a little bit of precipitation there. where we build that high pressure in the wake of that system, driving our offshore wind event here as we go on in through the day Wednesday. And then we watch off into the extended forecast as we go towards Saturday. You can see this next frontal system could bring some precipitation with that, and then maybe a better frontal system or a stronger one as we go through the later portion of the weekend and on into the following week. So we're going to be watching those closely. That could bring some precipitation to areas down towards Southern California as well. You can see the high pressure out over the coastal regions, out over the Pacific Ocean, let's call it, and additional systems trying to funnel into California there. So we'll be watching that closely. And then there's that fantasy portion here where you get a little bit of subtropical moisture tap back into the state, but purely a fantasy forecast right now. We're just dreaming of what could be off through the extended forecast. And if we take a look at a couple days ago, this was the Climate Prediction Center's official forecast here for the second half of November. Look at that below average signal here for much of the West Coast, including the entire state of California. So definitely take that, right? And then you can see some areas of California are included in the above average precipitation totals as well. So drought monitor also, I wanted to go ahead and click on California here. We're not doing it too bad, relatively speaking. You guys remember a few years ago, we were dealing with some of the extreme and exceptional drought, just blanketing much of the state. So a lot of the state is abnormally dry, but you can see there's only small portions of moderate and severe drought, mainly across Southeast California, kind of clipping some of the Sierra Nevada or east slopes of them here across the Nevada-California border and just across extreme Northern California. So relatively speaking, doing pretty well. So let's hope we get some systems in here, and so this doesn't, develop quite quickly as we go through the winter months. But I'm going to go out there and I'm going to chase some of this weather here across Pacific Northwest. I'm looking for wind and wave action, and I will be live streaming on Pacific Northwest Weather Watch at some point today, so you could ride along with me if you want and check that out. But anyway, I'll be back for tomorrow morning's briefing. Should be on schedule as normal, and I hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later.